Dame la ciencia.
Chiefs up, baby. Colts got him next year. We need this.
What we got here, Jello?
We got a little Miller Lite keg going for the Hideaway folks here, just to show our appreciation. Give everyone some beer for Football Sunday.
We're here with our boy Sola. How we doing?
What up? Apple juice for me today, boys.
Usual culprit.
Here for a little Super Bowl special. Brought a keg to the poker room. Yeah, I bet you've never seen a video like this before. We haven't. Excited to get a little drunk, watch the Chiefs play, watch the Chiefs win. I put down these player props before the game started. Here, so we got some money on the game, money in the poker room.
We do not have a problem.
A couple, what accompanies DJing the most? I would say probably beer from a keg. So, all right, boys, we're going to run it up. We're going to meet some more other friends inside and have a hell of a day.
Frankie will be doing some big keg stands for us on the video after the Chiefs take home the dub tonight. So we'll see how that goes.
In this hand, we look down at 8-6 of diamonds. A little gapper, and the reason why you're seeing this hand is because it folds to me in the small blind. I'm going to bet $7 into an aggressive big blind who's played a bunch of hands. I've played about 30 minutes, and this guy's been in about every single pot, and we're playing only 6-handed, so a lot of action. Flop comes 4-6 king. I flopped a pair. That's hard to do. I bet $8 for value, and he makes a call. Not expecting him to be folding with really any two cards. We go off to a turn card, which is the 6 of hearts. Beautiful. Again, in the small blind, I'm first to axe. I'm going to be continuing on this card as I shouldn't hit my raising range too often. I bet $20. Again, everyone thinks I'm more of a tight player, so I'm not going to have many sixes in my range. And he does make the raise to $65. So music to our ears now. Like I said, the range advantage is the reason why I think he might be raising. I really don't put him on too good a hand. Maybe a king is raising for value. I don't want to 3-bet here and get his bluffs to just muck their cards, so I make the call here. The 9 of hearts comes on the river. I snap check, trying to look weak, trying to act like I want to see a cheap showdown, and he decides to fire a third bullet, this time to the sizing of $125. Wow, music to our ears. He's got a pretty hefty stack. I got about $200 left behind. I actually don't think I could jam here and get value from worse. I don't think a worse hand is gonna beat me. I don't even think a king would call if I jammed. So for that reason, I just make a call here. As soon as I do make the call, he announces, good call, which you love to hear. Opponent flips over a 4-7 offsuit, so he had a pair on the flop, decided to turn his hand into a bluff on the turn in river, and we take down a big pot to start the night off. Let's grab another beer.
I sit back down after a quick beer with Frankie at the keg, and middle position opens it up to $12. We look down at king, queen suited in the small blind. $12 isn't going to work. I 3-bet here to $30, and he calls. So we're off to a flop, heads up, which comes 9-9 jack. 2 hearts. Solid flop for us as we pick up 2 overcards, a gutter, as well as a flush draw. Really nice flop. I continue the story, however, I down bet to $25 and middle position calls. The turn comes 10 of diamonds, so we drill our gutter. It's not that hard to hit your gutters, ladies and gentlemen, trust me. I continue the story for $50, and he snap raises me to $100. And there definitely are a lot of strong hands he can have that we're still ahead of, such as a 9, a weaker flush draw, 8-7, 8 king, or a 2 pair like jack 10. So I've got about 250 left in my stack. I think that if I just call here and lead out on a river, it's gonna look really strong. There are a lot of action killing cards in the river, such as another 9, a jack, a 10, maybe even another heart if he has a 9, or an 8 or queen, bringing a 4-liner out there. All those cards could deter action, so for those reasons, I decide to rip it all in here for $245. Pretty sad, but middle position folds very quickly, and he shows us a 10 of spades, so not exactly sure what his move was on that turn. However, we scoop up a nice pot to start the night.
First hand for me, we'll start off with the ladies. Pocket queens in the cutoff. Jello actually opens it up to $15 for middle position. Kyle, who is a vlog watcher, shout out to you, Kyle, in the hijack calls. We are going to be raising this up. We make it $55. Jello folds.
I call for the blog.
You want to make the vlog, Kyle? Music to my ears, obviously. As he makes the call, we're going heads up to a flop of 5, 6, 9 with 2 clubs. When he checks and I see that there is really only like $50 left in his stack, we really only have one play here, and that is to rip it all in. He thinks about it.
I call.
Shrugs and makes the call with ace-queen offsuit. Basically the dream scenario. He has 3 outs. That is it. He has to run it twice. When people ask me, I usually just say yes. Let's see what happens. No ace, no ace, no ace.
I had an 8.
We scoop a nice little pot here to start the session. Over 100 big blinds coming our way. Why not? On to the next one. Next hand for me, we look down at queen jack offsuit on the button. Under the gun +1 opens it up to 10. We see 2 callers from middle position in the hijack. We call as well on the button. Small blind calls as well. We're at the hideaway. 5 ways to a flop. Don't expect anything else. Flop comes 4, 8, 10 rainbow. We have 2 overs and a gutter to the nuts. Under the gun +1 continues for $20 when it's checked to him. Folds to me. I'm going to make this call here in position, getting a good price. And the small blind calls as well, further improving my odds. The turn is one of those cards we like to see. It's a queen. We pick up top pair. However, interestingly enough, under the gun +1 does not slow down. He bets $40. We stayed around to see one of these cards. We're not going to fold once we see one of these cards. I make the call. And the small blind calls as well. So not really knowing where we're at as we head to the river, which is a brick. It's an offsuit 3. Small blind checks. The under the gun +1 player now decides to check, and I think we just have a very straightforward check here. Not much value to be had from worse. We have plenty of showdown value. Let's take it to a guaranteed showdown. We check it down. Small blind shows king queen offsuit. So maybe we enticed him to call on the flop with his 2 overs based on us calling the flop. He hits it, out kicks us. Glad we check back on the river, but we lose a little nice pot here.
I'm going to show you guys a quick rundown of a hand I played. I had king 10 of diamonds, hijack limp, I raised to 12, and we see 2 callers going to a flop. The board comes dry, 7, 8, 2. I decided to check here in position of 1 player. Turn is the 2 of diamonds, and now the small blind leads out for $17. I then make a call here, 2 overs and a flush draw. I think this call is totally fine. We bink on the river, the 3 of diamonds. I hit my flush, and now the small blind continues. The same aggressive player bets $55 now with the flush. I'm going to be ripping it all in here for $155, and he quickly makes the fold. Well, boys, we're up $300 playing poker. Our sports bets are not going that great right now. Chiefs are currently up 5 and Mahomes is out for the game. Yeah, Mahomes is out. That's pretty fucked up, and that's hopefully they can win by more than 6 points. The player props are looking okay. Hopefully we hold. All right, let's run it back. In this game, we look down at pocket 10s, 2 black ones. Under the gun bets $10. I'm under the gun +1. Against a tight under the gun player, I might just make a call, but aside to 3-bet here to $30. He had been raising it up pretty loose, so I wanted to be adding some more money in the middle and trying to make a heads up against this aggro player in position. It does fold around to the small blind, who is a pretty good player, and he decides to make a call. So now he's calling a 3-bet out of position. I'm putting him on strong suited Broadway cards, pocket pairs, or suited connectors, so like 7-8 suited. That type of hand that can't raise, but he's too gambly and wants to see a flop. Under the gun makes a call. $20 to see a $90 pot, totally worth for him to make a call. We go off to a flop 3-handed. It is ace 3-9, all clubs. I think this is a decent spot to check back, but I wanted to rep the ace. I'm going to have ace king here a lot of the time, so I bet $35, thinking that I can get them both to fold now, and just in case I have that 10 of clubs to catch a flush on the turn or river. We see 1 call from the small blind. That is not exactly what I want to see. We're putting him on a ace here a lot of the time. Like I said, I put him on a strong Broadway card. Pre-flop, going off to a turn, which is the king of hearts. When he checks to me, I'm going to be betting here a lot of the time because this card does hit my range, and a continuation bet's also a good idea because if I bet here, keep the betting lead, then I could get to see a cheap showdown and check the river and get value from those jack and queen of clubs that are calling the flop. Instead, I make a check back, and we see a 5 of spades on the river. Now hoping to get a cheap showdown, as I do only have third pair. That's not what happens. The small blind leads for $75 now on this river. I should be betting the turn there a lot of the time, but that check has now put me in a bad position. I think this player could be bluffing a lot of the time, but in my head at the moment, I'm thinking, wow, this bet is so small that he's definitely trying to get value with an ace. That is what I was thinking in my head. And I was like, Frankie, don't pay him off next to $75 if you know for sure he has an ace. So not thinking about my pot odds quite fully in the moment, I decided to make a fold here. And the small blind proudly flips over Jack 9 offsuit. So what was he doing calling 3-bet pre-flop? I don't know. But his loose play and aggressive action on the river gets me to make the incorrect fold.
Frankie might have a leak folding too much. Well, I have a leak gambling too much. We're playing Omaha, 4 card, just high. We look down at King, Jack, 10, 7, 2 hearts. There are 3 limps to me. I'm on the button, and I just decide to limp as well for $5. The small blind limps, and the big blind doesn't like it because he bumps it up to $20. We see 1 call from a limper, and it's back on me. As my good friend Rampage always says, folding's boring. I make the call for $20, and the small blind calls as well. So we're off to a flop, 4 ways, which is a nice one. Queen, King, 8, 2 hearts, giving us the open-ended, royal, and straight flush draw. Overall, great flop for us. Checks around to the hijack, who pots it for $90. He's only got about $45 to $50 left in his stack. I consider re-popping it here in order to isolate. However, that doesn't really make sense. I kind of want the most amount of people in here to give me the best equity. There's a lot of turn cards that can give me the nuts. So I just make the call here, figuring if I raise, he's going to be calling 100% of the time with such a small stack. And everyone else decides to fold. So we are heads up to a turn, which comes the 6 of diamonds, a complete brick. I'm assuming he's going to be jamming here on just about any turn, and he does just that. He jams all in for $45 total. In this pot size, there's just no chance I'm going to be getting away from it. Let's gamble. Let's see a river. I make the call, and the river comes the Jack of spades. Unfortunate, we do have 2 pair, and he flips over pocket 8s for bottom set on the flop. He takes this one away from us. You know what they say, no gamble, no future. Tough hand overall, but we love Omaha too much to be getting rid of this. Enjoy Rosie's face of disappointment. Just kidding, he loves seeing me lose. You can see him giggling under his mask here.
Next hand, we get into it with Kyle again. We have King Queen offsuit on the small blind. Kyle makes it $10 on the button. I call, and the big blind calls. Going 3 ways to a flop of Queen 7-9 rainbow. We hit top pair. We check. Big blind checks. Kyle c-bets for just the mere $10. I make the call, and the big blind folds. Heads up, me and Kyle go into a turn, which is the king of clubs. We pick up top 2 pair. Does bring on a flush draw, however. I check again, and he fires that second barrel for $25. I think it is definitely time to re-raise here with a lot of draws on deck and our hand being super strong. As I'm counting out those chips, we get into a little bit of table talk.
You got better than 2 pair?
We know
top 2 pair?
He asks me if I can beat top 2 pair. Well, Kyle, I have top 2 pair, so I think you're full of shit. Not to roast you or anything, so I'm pretty confident we have the best hand here, and I raise it to $75. He snap calls, though, so hopefully we can fade some cards on the river. The river is the ace of diamonds. Not a great card, as we are now losing to ace king, but honestly, not too scary. We get into some more table talk here, and let's see what happens.
What do you want me to do? You can check. I'll raise it up if you want.
Sure, I check.
I check. Top 2 pair. It was. Oh my gosh! Hey, good hand, good hand. Damn, good hand.
He wasn't lying to me. Kyle, I apologize. You were not lying. You're a man of your word. We chopped this one up. On to the next one.
To wrap up the night, we get into 3 huge pots, back to back to back. I'm going to go over them fairly quickly. We get into it with King Queen offsuit, 3-bet pot. Flop comes Queen 6-8, 2 clubs, and the under the gun player leads out for 50. My good friend Tiny in the hijack raises to $100. The under the gun player was nice enough to show Rosie his hand from his camera angle. The absolute nuts, pocket queens, top set on this board. I eventually lay it down. I'm not too happy about it, but little did I know I just folded to the nuts. And we move on to the next one. Again, we're playing some Congress here, and Rosie's got a great angle. I'm just going to let you guys listen in to what Rosie has to say and what all the people at the table have to say.
I just went to pee, man.
Things are going on. I don't know how this is going to work.
You know who won? Comment, because I don't know who won.
We get it all in against another hand with pretty much just the nut low. The other guy has the nut low as well as a pair of fours. So we get quartered here, and I hate Congress for that exact reason.
Yeah, you have the same law.
I thought you were going to get through this vlog without Jello going all in Congress. You're just so mistaken. You're just mistaken.
But I do like gambling. We got the keg. Why not get it all in with just ace deuce?
Such a stupid game.
And to wrap it all up, we look down at the Cowboys under the gun and make it $15. Under the gun plus 1 calls, and we're off to a flop. Heads up, comes Queen 7 Jack Rainbow. I bet $45, and the under the gun player just makes the call. The turn is the 3 of clubs, a pretty safe one for me, and I lead out here for $70, and the under the gun player does not hesitate to jam all in for $165 total. I think this is a pretty slam dunk call. I just make the call. He shows me Queen Jack offsuit. He flops 2 pair on our kings, and we get busted to end the night. Go Bears. Gambling works in your favor sometimes, and sometimes it kicks you on your ass. So really fun time with the keg and everyone out at the hideaway, just having a good time, playing poker, watching football.
Wait, is he here?
That's game over at the lock. That's a lock. Fucking lock.
Chad!
You left out all these beers.
I did.
What's going to happen to me?
I left these out for a Chief Dub, baby. Let's go. All right, Chiefs got the dub on that one. We're still at halftime at the Tampa Bay games versus Saints. That one's tied. You'll let us know who takes that game. But for the boys, our poker session is over. I will start us off. Bought in for $300, cash for $450, profit of $150. Not too bad.
I bought in for $400, exited with $325 for only a $75 loss. It's been a really tough couple weeks for me. Check out our TikTok to see why. So I've been down a lot, so to just see a double-digit loss really makes me happy. We'll be back stronger than ever.
Oh, I've been on a rough little swing the past few sessions. I was in the game for $400, out for big old goose egg, $0 out. We had some tough hands with kings, and we had some Congress hands too, as well as Omaha, that we probably just shouldn't be playing anymore, even though we might get it in ahead. Not going to win all them. It's a big variance route, so...
Well, boys, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. A lot of crazy going on at Next Gen Poker. Like I said, check out all the stuff in the descriptions, boys.
Peace!
Chiefs Nation, baby.